Today we are going to look at fifth lecture as a build up from where we ended last time. In our last lecture, we looked at the different types of production system and various things and what their content, what are they all about. Now, today we're going to start looking at the characteristics of the production flow. Now, in each and every production system that we looked at, the job, the batch, the mass, we talked about different aspects about how a company or how an industry is able to work around those in order to deliver to a client. Now, today we are looking at you as an operations manager. How then do you manage the production flow? Okay, now you're going to manage the production flow or the activities. You're going to manage the activities if you have a better understanding of the production flow in each and every production system. So what are the characteristics or the features of the production system? Okay, one, okay, the production system. One, we are saying that the requirements of resources is not the same, it varies. Here we are saying that um, the resources at the beginning of the production or the manufacturing of a good, it is very low. Okay, then in the mid of the production the requirement increases, and finally it slows down when the project is near its completion phase. Okay, now the second thing is that many agencies are involved in the project. Okay, so meaning that for a project to be done you need various inputs from various people. Each agency performs specialized jobs here. Okay, at this point coordination between agencies is important because all jobs are interrelated. Now, what we're trying to say is that you see, as operations manager, you need to be able to validate, other people's, skills, meaning that you need to get to people that are specialized in that particular area and be able to coordinate them in one environment for you to be able to produce what you need. No man is an island, as a wise man says. Okay, so now you as the operations manager, you need to be able to understand and be able to manage the interrelated skills and components that will lead to the flourishment of your product ready for market. Now, delays take place in the completion of a project due to its complexity and massiveness. Now, due to the massiveness of the projects, delay actually take place, and I'm sure you've seen some of the delayments, especially in the government's project. Okay, you find that they start, but because of the massiveness, for that project to be delivered, it tends to delay. So one of the characteristics. All right, sorry about that. Okay, now we are saying that sorry about that. I was saying that um, you see, there is a delay. The delay takes place along the project, okay, due to the massiveness and complexity, okay, meaning that the project is very complex in the sense that delays take place in one way or the other. Okay, so as one of the features, this is one of the characteristics in the sense that for any project you expect such to happen. However, you as a good operations manager, you need to be able to minimize the delays, and you need to minimize the delays in the project for you to be able to deliver to your clients. That's what good makes a good manager. Okay, so you need to be able to attend to the clients whenever they need your services in time. One of the factors that we looked at in our earlier lectures. As routing and scheduling changes with fresh orders, proper inspection is required at each stage of production, meaning that at each and every stage of production, there is need for inspection of the project. There is need for inspection of the project. So this is one of the characteristics. You as operations manager, you need to be able to inspect the project at a given time. The production of items takes place in small lots. Sometimes only one product is produced at one time. Okay, so we're saying that sometimes production can be in small in small units. Okay, um, the items are manufactured strictly at as per customer specification. Now, we indicated in the earlier in our earlier lecture, in lecture 4, that you attend to an individual or a client depending on their customization. For example, I'll talk about Rolls Royce, okay, the manufacturers of Rolls Royce. Today, when you want to buy Rolls Royce, they'll actually, customize it to the way you want it. Now, for them, you find that sometimes they will make one vehicle in in a longer period of time. For instance, maybe 6 months, for instance, one vehicle is being made, and that vehicle is being customized to one's needs, the colors, the looks, everything, each and every component, the sound and everything. Okay, now that is one example that we are looking at. Okay, so items are manufactured uh, uh, as per customers specification. Now, for you to do that, another feature is added to say highly skilled labor is required to perform specialized job. I was amused the time I was watching a documentary on Rolls Royce. That label, okay, on the car, the car has got has got a lining. Okay, the car has got a lining, and it was so amazing to see how a human hand could draw the lining. Okay, straight line, a human hand, not a machine. Now, why am I talking about that? The reason why I'm saying that, it is to show you how specialization works. Meaning that a person that did that is a qualified, skilled laborer or a skilled worker. Okay, people that design these vehicles, people that design the materials, are some are graphic designers, some are different artists. Okay, so here we're saying that it needs highly skilled labor to perform specialized jobs. Now, you as an operations manager, sometimes we are wrong to think that you are all in one. Okay, some people may want to behave all in one, where they want to do everything by themselves. Okay, by use of YouTube, using of videos, those things. As operations manager, as a qualified personnel in this industry, they are not allowed. Get specialized attention from specialized people. There is disproportionate manufacturing cycle time, meaning that the cycle time is not, it's not proportionate, it's not the same. Okay, meaning that this product may take, the cycle for this product may take 2 months, the other one may take 3 months, the other one may take 1 month and weeks. So there is different times. For example, okay, the time needed to design the product may be more than the manufacturing time. Okay, that is one good example. Now, let's look at the project flow. The project flow. Now, when we talk about the project flow, as I indicated in my preamble, that today we are looking at the flow of activities in each and every production system. Okay, now when you look at the project production flow, we are looking at project, like I indicated, we are dealing with bigger things. So, for instance, we are dealing with single or a complex order. All right. Now, That complex order has got a deadline for completion, meaning that you need to complete a certain order within a given time. Now, some of the complex things that maybe, maybe we may talk about, we are talking about airports, dams, construction of dams, construction of the airport, construction of the road, constructions of buildings. Okay, you as a operations manager, you're managing this operation, constructing an airport, you're constructing a dam, constructing a road, building, etc., etc. Now let's look at characteristics of this project production flow. First characteristic is that a requirement of resources varies with production phases. Now, at each and every phase, there is a different requirement of production resources. Okay, so for instance, if you're building a road, or if you're building a dam, or you're building an airport, you have the foundation, you lay a foundation, and the foundation you need different materials. Okay, and at each and every, when you reach at even a house, when you reach at the window level, you need different materials. Secondly, many agencies are involved and their jobs are interrelated. Okay, many agencies are involved and many their jobs are interrelated. So we're talking about, for instance, you're going to need a plumber. Okay, a person, a plumber, you're going to need a plumber. At a certain point, you're going to need a carpenter. Okay, at a certain point, you're going to need a painter. Okay, you're going to need so many different things, I mean different people and with different qualifications. So that's one of the characteristics. Third characteristics is that the third characteristic is that generally delays take place in completion of the project. At some point there may be a delay in completing this project because it's a big project. So as routing scheduling changes, inspection is required. Now, you as the operations manager, you need to be able to conduct inspection for a particular project for it to successfully meet the demands of a client. So let's look at the second system, which is the jobbing production flow. The jobbing production flow. Okay. Now, jobbing production flow here we're talking about customer specification. Somebody has just come to say, "You can you please make this for me?" Okay. Let's vision, a client, how Rolls Royce, attends to clients. Okay, this client comes say, I want my vehicle to be pink. Okay, I want my vehicle to be red inside with gold, whatever. Okay, now a job production system here, we are talking about fixed cost and defined time. Okay, you've got a defined time and you've got a fixed date. Now, some of the examples that we can look at, we are looking at a repairing shop. Okay, you want to repair this vehicle and this person needs it within the shortest period of time. The secondly, we can look at the tailoring shop. Okay, this person needs their clothes to wear at the wedding, at the at an event, different like things like that. Special machine tools. Okay, now let's look at characteristics. The first characteristic is the production of items take place in small lots. Okay, so because of the customization, the production of items takes place in a small lot. Okay, meaning that in smaller quantities. The second is that items are manufactured as per customer specification. This client says, "I want a slim fit." You have to give them a slim fit. Okay, if you are a tailor. Third, we're talking about highly skilled labor is needed for specialized jobs. Highly skilled labor is needed for specialized jobs. Okay, meaning that you need, a qualified worker for a given job. Four, there is disproportionate manufacturing cycle time. Okay, so the cycle time is different, like we indicated in the main characteristics. Then let's look at the batch production flow. Now, I'm sure by now you are able to relate these characteristics from the characteristics that we looked at as we were starting. Now, in the batch production flow, the production schedule is decided according to specific orders or are based on the demand forecasts. Now, here, the production of items takes place in lots or batches, right? Now here batch we're talking about, it can be in huge quantities. Okay, let's look at one of the companies that, look at in your setting, look at a company that produces a certain type of products. In here in Zambia, we are going to look at maybe Trade Kings. Okay, they produce a variety of drinks. At the same time they produce a lot. Now a product is divided into different jobs. All jobs of one batch of production must be completed before starting the next batch of the production. Now, for instance, you are looking at a manufacturer who is manufacturing drinks. Okay, or let me talk about Coca-Cola. All right. So we assume that Coca-Cola had flavors. Coca-Cola, fruity. Coca-Cola what? Coca-Cola. Now they are going to manufacture a certain a certain brand, or they are going to manufacture a certain flavor at a given time. Okay, unless they grow to some extent where they have branches, where this branch is just manufacturing if it's fruity, it's fruity. If they're manufacturing you know uh, another flavor, just like that. If it's orange, mango, different. Okay, now for example, let's look at an example of that. Example of batch production flows include manufacturing of drugs and pharmaceutical, medium and heavy machinery, etc. Okay, those are one of the examples of the batch production system flow. Now, companies begin the process of organizing operations by setting competitive goals or targets. Okay, now let's look at the batch production system. So here we're talking about specific orders or demand forecasts, specific goals or demand forecast. Here, what we're talking about is we're saying a person has come and they need a specific order. They say, no, I want Coca-Cola, or I want medicine to treat coronavirus, or to treat what. So you are producing for a specific order, or you are producing to meet the demand. There's so much demand for drinks because it's hot. Okay, so you as a company, you are producing those drinks to meet the demand. Okay, so we're talking about example drugs, medium and heavy machinery, okay, and things like that. Okay, so we are producing in large quantities. Now, what are the characteristics of a batch production flow? First characteristics First characteristic is that products are made and stocked until demand arrives. So for instance, right now, if it is cold, okay, if it is the season, the cold season, they are going to manufacture and put in stock. Once demand begins to ship in, they will release they will release the goods from the stock. Secondly, the general purpose machines and equipment are installed. By now, you understand what it means by general purpose machines. Okay, so we're talking about machines that are able to be adjusted to be able to create goods that are of different, design, depending on the time and the specific period that the good is needed. Okay, if this time you need you need a small cut, they will produce small. If you need big, they will produce big. Okay, so general purpose machines that can cut across production sizes, and can they are a general purpose, in short. Thirdly, we're looking at there is possibility of large work in progress. There's possibility of large work in progress. Here we're talking about having so much work due to forecast demand or huge demand. The last one is it needs detailed production planning and control. So here, because of huge demand forecast, it needs detailed, okay, detailed production planning control. By now, you understand what production planning control. We looked at what production planning control is, and you understand the steps that are involved in production planning control. Okay. Thank you so much. We will talk more in our next lecture. For now, you stay safe.